My name is Jared Henneberger. This is a retelling of the events that occurred on Friday, February 13th. What you are about to see may disturb you. My story starts off with my first day at a new school, Ray High School. A prestigious school, full of snobs and weirdos alike. I was only accepted because of my financial standpoint. A publicity stunt. That's what I was. As I walked away from my ride, my inner monologue was interrupted by an airborne lunchbox. It was mine. Thanks, Mom. This is where things started to get weird. As I made my way to what was sure to be hell, I was startled by a black-clad girl. "You must be the new guy," she said. "So who are you going to be here?" "I don't know what that means, and I should probably go meet my teacher, so..." "I won't try to threaten you," she interrupted, "or bargain with you like every other stupid group will. But I will say that being goth is a better experience than any they can offer you. It builds character."
Wait, who's gonna threaten me?
For sure. They'll follow you everywhere. They'll destroy you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. They won't let up until you join them, until you give in and become one of their subordinates.
My curiosity was piqued, I admit. Is there some kind of popularity contest going on here? Is that what this is?" "That's what happened to me," she responded, blatantly ignoring my question. Which is what led me to establish my own family of broken hearts and shattered souls. I was awestruck by this up-and-coming poet.
Their room's down there.
The last thing she said to me was a fast and partially inaudible "join goth." But this wouldn't be the last I'd see of her. I made my way to my class.
Hello, welcome to Ray High School.
It was at this point that I knew it was the end for me.
Before you begin your first day, we would like to help you choose an appropriate social class for your year.
No thanks.
You do realize that not choosing a group will result in complete and total social isolation, right?
What?
They, as the apparent social gatekeepers of the school, informed me that if I failed to conform to any single label, I would be the only one who doesn't have an assigned group of friends. I would be completely and totally alone. I'd fought loneliness before, and if I look bad, you should see loneliness.
Now, we personally would recommend the Prep Society, where we have fun and care about our social reputation. But I think it looks more like one of those gamer kids. Don't you?
You know what? Prep is fine. Can I go to class now?
Oh, wonderful. Yes, please, come right in. We sit right in the front row, middle table.
I was escorted into my class. What I saw was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Groups and groups of teenagers all huddled up, secluded to their own groups based on how they labeled themselves. Actually, scratch that. It was exactly like everything I'd ever seen ever everywhere. Lunch came around, and I had already braved being stalked by these two girls full of gossip and on-off hostility.
Oh my god, you have to come to Starbucks with us so you can tell us about your fascinating life and what your plans are for the future. Yeah, with clothes like those, you must have been through some pretty rough times.
That was a passive-aggressive insult if I ever heard one. They continued to drag me all the way to a Starbucks around the corner. Their blabbering was not only enough to down an ox, but convinced the ox to leave its wife and crying children and check itself into a mental institution. At least the day had to end sometime, right? This is where my memory gets a little blurry.
I can't believe we're Starbucks! It's your first Starbucks! Oh my god, we gotta take a selfie! Okay, right now. Oh, that's cute. Oh, okay, stop.
Could I get a venti iced coffee, 8 cups caramel whipped cream? Oh, just kidding, I mean a water.
We sat ourselves at a table. I didn't have the money to buy a drink, but apparently, annoyance is free of charge.
Can you believe what Louis said the other day? Oh my god, it's not even that funny. Hey, Tommy! Can you believe what Tommy? It's not Tommy. Tommy makes me so mad. I cannot stand either. I'm like, and I hate them both. Tommy, like, you just fat liar! And I hate him. I don't understand. No, I can't wait for the good. Tell me I'm gonna die.
I was being beckoned by what was surely an insane person.
Sit down. That's the time to tell me to stop.
They do this to every recruit, you know. I honestly don't understand how they keep up such a big calm.
I didn't know picking a side would entail having to listen to them all day. And that one of the rules of being a prep is not doing the work.
You have to help me stop them.
You mean break down the labels and tyranny barrier?
What? No, that sounds dangerous. Geeks don't do danger. Join geeks.
Oh my god.
With the Larson falling, we can totally take over and instruct them to take over as righteous leaders.
I can't do this. I'm sorry. I should go.
Is it any worse than spending the rest of the day with them?
I was faced with a choice.
You know what? Maybe we had our differences.
Prep or geek? Prep or geek? Prep or geek? Stupid or stupid? This game was fun. I figured whichever I picked, I'd still hate past me for his sins, so I sighed as loudly as I could muster and sat head down at the geek table, attempting to fall asleep to the lullaby of fangirling. Lunch was ending, so we returned to school.
Wait right here.
I tried to obey the girl's order, but as the end of my life drew nearer, so did the end of my patience. I took to the stairs I'd seen her ascend 5 minutes prior. I don't think I've ever made more mistakes in one day.
Whoa, dude, you must be a new guy.
Please, no.
Dude, what the f***? I was just saying hi.
Well, I'm not gonna join your stupid club, so...
Okay, can't you just appreciate if someone this physically powerful notices you?
Ew, we're done here.
Determined as she was in her athletics, the jock followed me, hoping to still catch me like one of her sport balls. What I saw when I reached the top was not at all more than I could bear.
Yeah. The new kid's right over there. With my brains and your creepy blackness, we can easily take over the school socially and academically. We can rip the rungs of the social ladder right out from under the preps.
Sure.
The geek and goth conniving surely couldn't be a good thing for me on my first day. But just as I was expressing this concern, guess who walks, jaw dropped, through the door?
What are you doing with these plebs?
I resolved that there was no good way to explain this and straightaway snitched on the two freaks beside me, as to maybe hold at least some of my dignity together.
What? You know how alliances and mixing are illegal, right?
So? Said the goth, about as emotional as I'd ever seen her. Just as surprised of the goth's sudden passion, the geek girl chimed in. Yeah, so? We are sick and tired of the preps being the ones who have all the power, just because you have nice clothes and fake attitudes and a lot of money. Yeah, that does kind of suck, the jock unwelcomely murmured.
You say it as if it's our fault that you can't get any recruits.
The jock shouted a hostile obscenity at the cheerleaders. The geek asked how they were supposed to get recruits if the hive minds immediately jumped on them. The best response the populace could muster was, "It's not our fault you're ugly." At this point I had to step in. Things were getting out of hand and I had 2 cents to throw in each one of their faces. I gave a long and drawn-out speech about labels and popularity and about how a like wasn't cool and stuff. It was very touching. You had to be there. However, it was only met with stubborn faces, aside from the cheerleaders.
Oh, with a speech like that, you must be gay!
This is when I gave up on life entirely and called my mom.
everyone.